From Reese Smith Field on the campus of Middle Tennessee State University, it's the 2012 TSSAA Spring Fling. Time now for the Class AA championship game. The Spring Hill Raiders take on the Goodpasture Cougars. Chip Walters along with Mike Keith today. And Mike, this is the end of a long drive for both of these ball clubs coming through the upper and lower bracket trying to win a AA state title.
Spring Hill lost their first game. They've won 4 in a row. Goodpasture's been so good all year long, winning 37 of 41, and they've continued to build on momentum throughout. Two teams playing their best baseball at the end.
Two teams with great stamina have gotten here to the state finals. Let's take a look at today's keys to the game.
Yeah, for Spring Hill, they want to score early, and they need good pitching, and they have gotten it in the last 4 games. Team ERA of under 1 in their 5 state tournament games so far. For Goodpasture Christian School, they want to play good defense, not make mistakes, and get a good performance from Hunter Newman. He's 12-0 on the year, and he's the key to them today.
It's an outstanding mid-state matchup today. Spring Hill and Goodpasture for the AA state title here in Murfreesboro. Stick with us. Hot day in Murfreesboro, Tennessee as we go into Memorial Day weekend. The Class AA baseball championship here at Reese Smith Field on the campus of Middle Tennessee. Chip Walters along with Mike Keith this afternoon as we bring you the matchup between Spring Hill and Goodpasture. Let's take a look at the Cougar defense as they hit the field. It'll be Demersion, Ackworth, Kemp, and Crocker third to first. Wilson, Wiseman, and Jr. around the outfield. Strickland behind the plate, and it will be Newman on the mound. And as we check the starting lineup for the Spring Hill Raiders, first of all, the starting pitcher for Goodpasture is Hunter Newman. And Newman wearing number 25 on his Cougar jersey. He'll climb the Hill of Thrills this afternoon.
Pitcher. Here are the Spring Hill Raiders that will take them on. The Pruitts, obviously 2 guys to watch. Jake Usher, also an important part of the lineup, along with the catcher hitting cleanup today, Taylor Ellis.
And we'll talk about this a little more, but in the bottom of the inning, but Darian Pruitt will be pitching for the 2nd day in a row. And in this tournament, the way that it's formatted, if you find yourself in the loser's bracket, that's going to happen somewhere along the way.
Well, you've got to be able to come back and help your team because no team has 9 pitchers. And this is what happened. They lost the opener of the tournament to Covington 2-1, and then Spring Hill has bounced back nicely. Their pitching staff has done a great job overall. Again, their team ERA in the 5 games in Murfreesboro is .60.
That'll win you some games. Luke Bigler will step in for the Spring Hill Raiders as we get this one underway for the Class 2A championship. First pitch to Bigler, swung on and fouled back. Bigler hitting .353 in the tournament. And for this Spring Hill Ball Club, we again reiterate, this is their 6th game in 4 days. Upstairs for ball 1. So the count even up now at 1-1. Newman quickly delivers strike 2. And the count goes to 1-2.
Newman working fast. He grabs the ball, gets the sign, winds and deals.
Ball popped toward left center, ranging over the second baseman Wiseman. He'll make the catch for out number 1. I'll tell you, on a day like today, if you work fast as a pitcher, you will make friends on your defense.
It is hot, and it is so much hotter right now than it was 3 hours ago, Chip. Of course, we were on the field before the first game, roughly 10:30. Being on the field, in the last 15, 20 minutes, a major difference. These guys are going to have to battle heat a lot more.
Dathan Pruitt, first pitch hitting, pops it up. Second baseman Kemp underneath. He will make the catch about 15 feet onto the outfield grass. So 2 up, 2 down for right fielder Cole Barksdale.
When you see how these teams have been pitching, you would say we could have a 2-1 game. That makes a lot of sense. And of course, as soon as you say that, it's going to be 15-14.
Exactly. Ball fouled away and out of play. Well, one other little, piece here we've seen just here early in the first inning. The Spring Hill batters have looked for something early in the count. Strike call there, and it's 0-2. A lot of times with the pitching that these two teams have, the best pitch you see may be the first pitch you see.
Exactly right.
Ball was up and out of the strike zone, but he went up and got a piece of it, fouled it back into the stands.
Well, some people think when you face a dominant pitcher, go after one of the first couple offerings because you don't want to let him work ahead.
2-strike pitch fouled away, and it remains 0-2. I think you're exactly right. You don't want to let the pitcher get you in a spot and make his pitch. You want to try to hit your pitch. 0-2, swing and a miss there. Changed him up a little bit, and down on strikes he goes. So Newman gets Goodpasture off on a good foot with his first strikeout of the day. In the inning, no runs, hits, or errors, nobody left. So no score after a half inning, and Spring Hill coming to bat, which will give us an opportunity to take a look at the Goodpasture Cougar defense, or rather the Spring Hill defense, as Goodpasture will come to the plate momentarily. Goodpasture and Spring Hill have not played yet in this tournament. That's one thing different today than yesterday, is a couple of times, or yesterday, it may have been the second or third time they'd played each other. Here's the Spring Hill defense. You see Petty, Anderson, and Barksdale in the outfield. Helgren, Dathan Pruitt is at short. Darian Pruitt, the pitcher. Usher at second. Bigler is at first, with Ellis behind the mound.
Stands out the plate. How good that infield is. That's what they talk about. And playing good defense is such a key for anybody, particularly with how hard and fast this infield is playing in the heat.
Dathan Pruitt is the shortstop. He is a signee here at Middle Tennessee, so he's kind of getting used to that little piece of real estate he's at out there right now.
Yeah, might as well, because he's going to enjoy playing for what has been a highly successful program over the years. And Middle Tennessee State has always done such a fantastic job of getting kids from the mid-state. And you look at the roster year in, year out, it's been a key to their success over the years. Here's your lineup. Wiseman going to lead it off. Keep an eye on Newman, the pitcher. They let him hit for himself. Demersion in the 7-hole, another senior who's had some success. Good bats throughout this lineup, and that's probably the biggest reason this team is 37-3-1 on the campaign.
Between these two, 72 wins on the season already between these two. Carter Wiseman leads off for the Goodpasture Cougars. And Darian Pruitt, a left-hander. First pitch is a ball. Pruitt with the 0-1. That one hit him.
You know, you wonder about nerves. You're in this situation playing in the championship game. They've handed the ball to you and said, hey, you got to go get it here today. And you see a pitcher like Newman go out, veteran, senior, signed with Trevecca, and then the youngster gets his turn, and you wonder, how is he nervous? Is he extra amped up in this situation?
That'll bring up Ryan Kemp. Kemp, the second baseman, takes a pitch for a ball. Pruitt went all 5 innings yesterday. Gave up a run on 5 hits, and one of the big things that would, I'm sure would be a concern would be, how does a guy pitch 5 innings one day and bounce back the next? And sometimes it does not affect somebody, but sometimes it will have a very big effect on a pitcher.
Only had to face 19 batters in that game.
Strike called, and it's 2-1. On Ryan Kemp. Snap throw over to first, nearly got away, but Wiseman was able to dive back in.
Got a little cat and mouse here. You got to think there's a hit and run possibility with a guy who handles the bat as well as Ryan Kemp does at the plate.
Boy, good jump there on a hit and run, and foul ball off the bat of Ryan Kemp, but a huge jump by Wiseman.
And you know why? He had a great read on the leg. He saw the leg go forward, and there you had a pitcher that saw him go and thought, I have to go to the plate. But that's great base running right there, because when he saw that foot move toward home plate, he broke. I don't even know if they'd have gotten a throw off on that one.
I'm not sure either. Well, they changed up the footwork a little bit on the mound there, and Wiseman started, stopped, and then started again. But the foul makes the count 2-2, and Wiseman back to the first base bag. And Coach Richie Estep at third kind of kicked the dirt or the line out there in the third base coaching box on the previous pitch, because he knew they had something there.
Sure did. Already having to come with some new baseballs because of all the fouls so far just in the first inning.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Check of the runner and a throw to first. Spring Hill trying to stay out of a jam here early, as Goodpasture has the leadoff man on in the bottom of inning number 1. And it is a sizzling day here in Murfreesboro, mid-90s on this championship Friday. Ball 3 is outside, and the count goes full.
Super at-bat by Kemp, working the pitcher, making him worry about the runner. Are they going to hit and run? Are they going to steal? This is exactly what you want early in this heat.
Runner goes on a 3-2 pitch. Kemp may have fouled off ball 4.
I think he did. Sure as we brag on him. He swung at a pitch that I think may have gotten him to first base on his own. But, you know, that's what you're trying to do. You're up there with a mindset. You're thinking about putting it in play, and in particular trying to hit it behind that runner with that big open hole and see if you can get him to third and make something big happen.
Another 3-2 pitch. Runner goes. Fouled away again. Over underneath the Stephen Smith clubhouse. So the count stays 3-2.
Goodpasture, tremendous baseball history. 7 TSSAA state championships between 1988 and 2008. Spring Hill does not have one, and yet they do have some history of their own recently in baseball. 3rd straight state tournament. So both of these teams very comfortable being in the spotlight of a state championship game.
They certainly are, and you've got kids on both of these teams, again, like we've seen, you know, before, multi-sport athletes that have been in state tournament competition. Ball 4 is low, and Ryan Kemp works himself a walk on what was probably about a 10-pitch at bat. So the first walk given up by Pruitt, and it's first and second, no outs here in the first, and the Spring Hill Raiders digging themselves a bit of a hole. But you get a sharply hit ground ball to somebody right here, and you feel a whole lot better about yourself.
The problem is the hitter's Hunter Newman.
Exactly. Newman is also the pitcher for Goodpasture in this game. Pruitt checks the runner at second, comes home. Ball hit hard to center field. Going back is the center fielder, and over his head. Anderson couldn't get to it. 1 run will score. They will hold the second runner up at third. It's a double for Newman, and Goodpasture takes a 1-0 lead here in the first.
May sound a little bit odd, but Nathan Anderson, the center fielder, did a good job of making the Goodpasture runners think that he was going to have a play on the baseball. I think he knew pretty quickly it was going to get over his head. But you see some of that experience out there as he's chasing that ball deep and just understanding that he's not going to be able to get there. Only 1 run in at this point, but Goodpasture knocking on the door with a chance to get more.
You can see that ball went up against the center field wall, and Ellis is the courtesy runner. DH Jay Roten at the plate. Second and third and still no outs. 1-0 game, and now an intentional walk given to Roten.
Well, you get that. Open base, cleanup hitter, lefty-righty matchup, which doesn't seem to favor you. You need a double play ball here, and they're going to go ahead and play the infield in, even at this early juncture of the contest, to try to cut down the run at the plate. I think that's how much respect they have for Hunter Newman, the other pitcher.
I think you're right, and they feel like they cannot afford a big inning. That one is going to get through. At least one will score. They'll hold up there. Now it gets by the left fielder. Here comes the second run. Newman scores, or the pinch runner does, and Roten will score. That'll be a single and an error in the outfield that plates 3 runs, and it will be a 4-0 game. And here comes Coach Paul Lamb.
Well, some would say it's a gamble to go ahead and play the infield in. It's a ball that, if the infield's back, the shortstop, I don't know if he has an out there, but he's certainly going to have a play on it. It gets by Pruitt and then gets by Petty, the left fielder. And again, it's dry, it's hot. That ball goes a long way past him. Here comes Kemp. Here comes Ellis. And then Roten is able to score all the way from first base. And so now if you're Lamb, you want to calm everything down. You're in a hole early. Again, remember, Chip, still nobody out and a runner at second.
Paul Lamb goes back to the dugout. The batter will be Kyle Strickland. He will be the 6th man to bat, and Spring Hill yet to record an out. Runner at second is Ashworth. And Spring Hill desperately just wanting to get one out. Infield back at normal depth. Strike called, and it's 0-1. And you look back at the decision that Paul Lamb made to play the infield in. Had they been playing at normal depth, Dathan Pruitt probably makes that play at short. He has a little more reaction time. One strike delivery just missed low, and it's 1-1. Pruitt much more deliberate in his work on the mound. Strike called on the outside corner, and it's a ball and 2 strikes.
Well, and what really hurt Spring Hill in this frame more than anything else, hit batsman, walk, intentional walk. 3 guys on base, Chip, that did not earn their way on.
Exactly right. Ball hit into right field. That's going to get down and up against the wall for an extra base hit. Here comes Ashworth. He'll score. And it's now 5-0 here in the first.
Could have easily been a triple. But
that's going to make all the runs earned to this point.
But his step, the head coach stopping Strickland at second because he knows I'm in the midst of a big inning. I don't want to make the first out at third base, following the rule. He really did a great job of hitting, sitting back on the back foot, keeping the weight back and driving the baseball the opposite way.
J.R. Davis is the courtesy runner, as Wes Demersion, third baseman, to the plate. Line drive left field. Here comes Petty. He'll make the catch for out number 1. And a sigh of relief from all of those maroon-clad Spring Hill Raider fans down below. Finally an out.
Well, you just hope, if you're Spring Hill, that you've stopped the bleeding right here. You just don't want this to get into a crazy situation where you give up 8, 9, 10 runs in an inning. 5, it's a tough way to go, but teams come back from 5-0.
And if you're going to do that, do it while you still have 6 more at-bats.
You got it.
Alex Jr., left-handed hitter. First pitch to him from the left-hander is low. Gets it, ball in the dirt. Throw down to first, or third rather, is not in time. And we'll see if they call that as a wild pitch or a pass ball.
I think it's probably a wild pitch because you can see it's in the dirt. The catcher does a good job blocking it. But a heady play by Davis, the pinch runner, he broke right away.
Swing and a miss there, and it's 1-1. And really, when you at this level, if you have decent speed on the bases, you know you have a pretty good opportunity to make it on a steal if there's anything that's less than perfect in the exchange between the pitcher and catcher.
In that situation, because of how well Ellis blocked it
in the dirt,
as he does there again, yeah. As well as he blocked that one, though, Chip, he kept the ball in front of him. If Davis had not made a good break, Ellis would have been able to throw him out because he's throwing to third. So heady base running and really good job by the catcher, who's probably a little worn out back there right now.
2-2 pitch. Strike three called, and down goes Junior. Well, that was kind of the shot in the arm that this Spring Hill team needed. Was something good to happen for them.
Great pitch. Catcher sets up, look, barely moves the glove.
Boy, and a good call by the home plate umpire in this game. He's got the motion back there. Who is that? Juan Garza. He had kind of the Frank Drebin call back there behind the plate.
Well, you like a demonstrative umpire if you're the broadcaster.
Exactly. Strike call there, and it's 0-2 on Caleb Wilson, the left fielder.
The Dutch Rennert thing is a big help.
Yes. 0-2 pitch. Ground ball, left side, base hit. That'll score a run to make it 6-0. And Wilson, an RBI single. That will not be an earned run, but it is a run indeed.
Yeah, when you see the lineup card and the first 6 men not only reached base but have scored runs, not a good thing. If you're Spring Hill, then.
Spring Hill was almost out of it. There's a throw down, not in time. The throw, very good throw by Ellis, knocked the helmet off of Wilson.
And the umpire wisely going to talk with him. Anything with the head, and this is one of the best things that's happened in sports everywhere these days. Anything that happens, they want to look, they want to talk to you, they want to check you out. I'm sure we're going to have a chance to have a replay on this one, but you got to have a
Richie
discussion.
Estep here on the left side of your screen grinning, and also grinning is Wilson. And
yeah, you don't see it happen much, but the throw down from Ellis, good throw, right in the helmet. Boom. There you see it go off. And you got to check it out. Let's talk. Let's make sure you know where you are. You know what the score is. And we're doing that in every sport now.
And I'm sure there was some comment in that little confab out there is that some smart comment from somebody, well, he's too hard-headed anyway.
That's right.
Back to the top of the order, and it's Carter Wiseman. Wiseman was hit by a pitch and scored the first of what has been 6 first-inning runs for the Goodpasture Cougars. Wiseman checked his swing, and it is a strike. 2-1 on Wiseman. Wilson at second, 2 out in the inning, 6 across so far for Goodpasture. Inside pitch there.
Let's go back and think about the first segment of this half inning, which seems like a long time ago. Wiseman hit by the pitch. He's working the pitcher hard, and the batter, Kemp, working the pitcher hard, and both of them reach base without the benefit of a base hit, but it kind of opened the floodgates overall.
Ground ball to Pruitt at short. His throw is in time, and that'll do it for Goodpasture. But boy, do they get off to a great start in this AA title game. They score 6 runs on 4 hits. leave a man, and there was one Spring Hill error. So after one complete, you see Coach Paul Lamb having a little, refocus right here after one inning, saying this game is not over. We're in a hole yet, but we can come back from this. I think that's got to be the message right now.
And the good news for them is that Spring Hill has 18 outs remaining. And so what they've got to do is they've got to bear down. They've got to make every at-bat count. It's like a coach that I used to work with said years ago, there's no such thing as a 6-run homer, an 8-run homer, whatever. When you trail by a big deficit, get it to 6-1, get it to 6-2, and it's not going to be easy against Newman. So if they're up there taking big hacks, trying to be a hero, he's going to shut them down. And that's why they're going to have to be patient. Their discipline at the plate is going to have to be even better than if it was a 1-to-1 game. It's even more important in this situation. So that's what he's preaching right now. Let's keep it together, a lot of time left, and let's battle back inch by inch.
Taylor Ellis to the plate as we start the top of inning number 2, and he takes a strike from Hunter Newman. I would have to look at the numbers, Mike, but when you talk about the ERA of the Spring Hill team, they gave up more earned runs in that inning than in the previous 5 games.
Yeah, that's not good. That's the bottom line. That is not good news.
Pitch is high, but you talked about the 6-run home run. Taylor Ellis was trying to hit one there.
Newman very much in control to start.
Boy, changed him up, and Ellis did a heck of a job just getting the end of the bat on that and staying alive.
We've already seen the changeup. We've seen the breaking ball. We know there's an effective fastball that we can already see movement on. He's a good-looking pitcher.
Poked into right field. That'll be a base hit. I'll tell you, had the first baseman been on the bag, you would have had a chance for something very unusual to happen right there.
Junior thought about it.
Yeah.
He thought about
He looked that way, but the first baseman wasn't covering.
He thought about the old Dave Parker move, and that's throw behind him, see if you can gun a guy down at first base because that ball was so sharply struck. But Ellis, that's good hitting, and that's exactly what Coach Lamb is talking to his team about. Be smart, go with the pitch, get on base. We need base runners.
And their comeback, the only way you can start it is with one hit, and they've gotten that there. Jake Usher is the second baseman for Spring Hill. Usher takes one upstairs. He's hitting .375 here in the state championships. 6 hits coming into this game, 4 runs driven in. 2-0 pitch outside, ball 3, and Spring Hill's going to make Newman work a little bit.
Well, Spring Hill has batted nearly .400 as a team in their last 4 games, all wins, so they know they're capable.
Upstairs, ball 4, and Usher is on. So Spring Hill trying to have a little Raider uprising here in the second inning. First walk given up by Hunter Newman. And Heath Petty is the batter for the Raiders. Pitch is upstairs. And it's 1 ball and no strikes.
Looks like right now Newman has a little bit of a mechanical problem because all the pitches are high.
Yeah, his release point, it doesn't appear as quite right, or he's not bending his back and following through. And Richie Estep saw the same thing, and he's going to go out for a little technical advice.
Well, and that's what this is. This is like, hey, calm down. We're in good shape. I mean, what you want to avoid if you're the Cougars is the big inning. Okay, if Spring Hill gets 1 or 2 runs, that's not what you want, but you don't want to get in a situation where you end the top of the second with it 6-4 or 6-5. So let's refocus, let's throw strikes. And a lot of the message in these situations from coaches to pitchers is pitch to contact. Don't worry about striking everybody out. Don't try to blow it by them or trick them. Pitch to contact. Remember, you have 8 guys behind you working for you. Let them do some of the work.
Yeah, and a lot of times you have pitchers who, whether not necessarily that don't trust their defense, there's a ball hit high in the air by Petty. The shortstop, Ashworth, goes out and makes a bit of a circus catch in the outfield grass, but it still will count as an out.
Wind blowing that ball. It got up there and hung up there for quite a while, and Ashworth did a nice job to get it. Watch him stay with it here. He's under it.
Kind of the great circle route.
Yeah, he's done this probably 500,000 times in his life. He's under it, and then he's not, but he stayed with it and showed good patience to make the catch. And that's what Estep was talking to Newman about. Let him hit it. You don't have to do it all.
Third baseman Ryan Helgren, he takes a strike, and it's 0-1. Talk about the wind blowing the ball. Everybody in this ballpark would accept a little wind this afternoon. Ball hit in the air to right field. Coming on is Junior. He makes a running catch for out number 2.
That's good coaching by Goodpasture, too, because they had Junior playing in tight. If he's playing at an exceptionally deep position or more toward right center, no way he makes that play. But he was shaded that way. They've obviously scouted Spring Hill, know something about him, and he's a good athlete. By being lined up right, it gave him a chance to come get it.
Bouncing ball here toward short. Ashworth with the long throw, close play and safe at first. Everybody in white was taking a step toward the third base dugout, but umpire Tony Michael says the bang-bang play at first. Tie goes to the runner.
Ashworth came on, has to glove it, can't go to second, throws to first. Ooh. Very close. Looked like they might have gotten it. Doesn't matter now, though.
So an infield hit for Spring Hill has runners at second and third, or make that loaded the bases. And Darian Pruitt could really help himself out. Pitch is low for a ball. It's 1-1. Pruitt could be his own best friend with an extra base hit. 1-1. Outside, ball 2.
I always think it's interesting in high school baseball to look at the numbers of kids' batting averages when they pitch. Some guys are lousy because they don't concentrate, and some guys are through the roof because they're trying to help themselves. They're more focused.
2-1. Foul back and away to even the count now. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
It's normally feast or famine.
It's never really the same as when they're playing left field or whatever.
Exactly.
Deuces are wild here, and the pitch is low for ball 3. Well, the runners get a head start here on a 3-2 pitch. Ball hit in the air toward left field. Wilson coming in under a high sky, makes the catch for out number 3. Spring Hill bounces back. They don't get a run, but I think they got their offense on track a little bit and leave 3 on in the inning. 2 hits in the inning, no runs, no errors on Goodpasture, and after 1, it is 6-0 in favor of the Goodpasture Cougars.
Appears as if they may make a pitching change right here already.
Not surprising. Don't forget you can order DVDs of this or any game at Spring Fling by going to the website, TSSAA-network.com. That's TSSAA-network.com. You can get DVDs and have memories of all of these championship moments.
They are signaling in Dylan Stewart to take over on the mound. He's made 2 appearances in the tournament so far. 1 as a starter. And he also has a save. Stewart, 7 innings, 4 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. Opponents batting just 174 against him, and they just feel like they've got to make this move right now.
Well, when you get to today, you can't hold anything back.
And they just don't have time. They've got to hold them at bay.
Stewart, a right-hander. And he is a junior on this Spring Hill team. The batter will be Ryan Kemp. He walked and scored in that 6-run first inning for Goodpasture. AA championship game, Spring Hill trailing Goodpasture. And the first pitch in the bottom of inning number 2 is tomahawked into left field. Kemp went up and got it and took it to left.
Yeah, he wasn't waiting around. He figures Stewart's coming in the game. He's got to throw a strike right off the bat, and I'm just going to go get it. Look where this ball is. Right there. Bam. Kemp, not the tallest guy in the world, so that was almost shoulder height for him.
Right, but good wrist action there and got good speed on the bat head. Hunter Newman, the Goodpasture pitcher, up the middle, base hit. So Stewart has given up back-to-back hits here in the second.
Same approach, feeling like he's got to throw a strike. I'm going to go hit it, and the idea, I mean, that was a tremendous job by Newman of just hitting it right back where it was pitched. Their approach is fantastic at the plate, and we've sort of seen that 1 through 9. They go up there, they know what they want, they're swinging at strikes. Even in situations where they've made outs, they've worked the Spring Hill pitchers. It's a well-coached Goodpasture team.
Batter now, Jay Roten. He takes a strike, 0-1. And it's interesting to watch teams in their approach to how they go about things. And it just goes to show you how important it is to grab the early lead and what you can do at the plate. You can really kind of dictate things when you play from a position of strength.
Absolutely true, because the thing that you can't do, Chip, is if you're pitching right now for the Raiders, you can't get cute.
Two-strike count on Jay Roten, the designated hitter. And he went up and got a pitch going to right field. And on the run and over the head of the right fielder, Barksdale. 1 run will score. The throw in from the right field corner comes to second to Roten, but Kemp will score. Newman will end up at second base. It is a 7-0 game and 3 straight hits off Dylan Stewart here in the second.
Roten did a smart thing there. When this ball, and it looked at first as if this was going to be a foul ball. And as you told us with the local knowledge yesterday, this time of the year, everything gets pushed out to right. It fooled Barksdale. Roten nearly passed Ellis on the base path, but he had the presence of mind to just stop. That's why Ellis did not score, because he thought it was going to be caught.
Ashworth takes the ball. Still no outs here in the second. And the second inning is starting with the same nightmare that Spring Hill endured in the first. That one's a sharp foul right over there by our camera position at the end of the third base dugout.
Spring Hill with the infield in the first inning, they made a decision to move the infield in. Right now, Chip, there's no decision. They've got to. Yeah, they have to cut down the run at the plate if they're in a situation that they can, because they just can't let any more runs score.
And especially with first base open, they can do that. They have to do that.
The outfield also playing way in as well.
1-1 pitch right over the top of the head of Brandon Ashworth. And when you got to this championship game today, for Paul Lamb and his staff at Spring Hill, one of your concerns had to be how much pitching do we have left.
Right.
And right now, he's not getting the answer he wants.
Well, and in most cases, there's no in between, and it either really works out or it really doesn't. And that's the disappointing thing, because you don't have lots of choices. You got to do what you do.
Ball popped up. Right side coming in is Barksdale. He will make the catch. No tag.
But you know, even that one, I thought that might be a play for Bigler on the infield grass when it initially came off the bat, and Barksdale ends up catching it. Ashworth got very little of this ball, and it just carried and, you know, got at least some decent depth into right. No chance to tag there. Smart play by Ellis. Take a couple of steps, his head coach telling him, head right back. Not deep enough.
Hey, and if you don't mind deking right there to try to force a throw and force a mistake. Kyle Strickland, the catcher, is the batter. He takes a strike, and it's 0-1. 7-0. Goodpasture. 1 out. Bottom of inning number 2. Scheduled for 7. Strike there, and it's 0-2. As Stewart seems to be getting his legs under him a little bit.
We mentioned he's worked in this tournament as a reliever and has a save, but primarily a starter. Sometimes very hard to come out and do this.
0-2 pitch nearly gets away, but Ellis is there to box it up. So it goes to 1-2. Dylan Stewart, the reliever. 1-2 delivery here, right at the third baseman, off the top of his glove into left field. Here comes Ellis. He'll score. Moving to third is Roten, and that is a tough luck play for Spring Hill, but a good luck play for Strickland as he hit it right off the top of the glove of Helgren.
Well, he got it. I mean, he absolutely got all of this. This was a line drive, and it's a base hit all the way. He turns on one chest high, and the third baseman Helgren tries to make a play on it, but you know, just nothing doing. If he had caught it, it would have been, look what I found.
So 2 runs are in the inning, and it's 8-0 Goodpasture. Decatur County Riverside defeated Eagleville today, what, 8-1?
8-1 was the final, yes.
Class A title game. This an all mid-state matchup.
Then we're going to end the day with West against East.
Like to make sure everybody gets represented. West Demersion is the batter. Takes a strike there, and it's 0-1. Yes, Bearden and Arlington. So Knoxville, or a suburb, or the outside of Knoxville, along with suburb of Memphis. 1 strike pitch coming to Demersion. That one bounces up there, and it's 1-1. The TSSAA website has been a godsend this week for us with keeping up with results of all the different sports. TSSAAnetwork.com has, you know, you can go in and watch. This is a long holiday weekend. You could start watching games when you get home from work today and watch all weekend and probably still not see everything that's up on that site.
And not sleep.
That's
just watch it continuously. Straight through. It's really great. It has been, and you mentioned the TSSAA.org website has really been a big help.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Stewart to the plate. Brought a breaking pitch, and it's hit into right center field and caught by the center fielder. The throw is going to be way up the line and in. Going to second on the tag is Strickland. So a sacrifice fly to center. drives in the run to make it 9. We'll check the tag here.
Yeah, Demersion knows what he needs to do. Get it in the air. And Roten is back. Yep, he's got it and got it easily.
Now Alex Jr., who struck out looking his first time up, and that Goodpasture dugout. So there's some happy Cougs right now. Pitch outside, and it's 1-0 on Junior.
It's 9 runs on 8 hits. They've played smart. They played good defense at this point. I mean, this is what you want. They have come out and done exactly what they needed to do, and they're in firm command.
Throw back down to second, gets away, but not far enough as they tried to throw behind the runner, Kyle Strickland. Or Strickland's courtesy runner, which is J.R. Davis.
Davis was out if that had been a better throw.
He'd ventured off a little too far.
He had ventured almost to the Murphy Center.
Swing and a miss there. And it's 1-2 on Junior. One ball and 2 strikes on Alex Jr. He'll back out and step back in. Towards short. Pruitt gloves and drops it. Tried to one-hand it, and Dathan Pruitt commits the error.
But credit Davis, the base runner.
He made sure
he made sure that Pruitt had no good chance to look at it. Watch what he does here. He knows what he's. I'm going to run right in front of you. And that is gamesmanship within the game of baseball. You have every right to do that. You make it as hard as possible. That line of sight so difficult, and with everything going wrong and a shortstop hurrying to make a play in a 9-0 game, he makes the mistake.
And J.R. Davis gets a gold star for the bit of base running right there. That'll bring up Caleb Wilson. He's up with 2 outs. Junior is on at first. Strickland, or Davis, the courtesy runner, is at third. 9-0 Goodpasture. Pitch high there, and it's 1-0.
If you're Goodpasture, don't you think you want to send Junior at some point here?
I think so, and I think, you know, when you're a coach in this game and you're in the position that Goodpasture's in with a 9-0 lead, line drive, foul ball down the left side. That one kind of had a clang sound to it when it came off the bat, but, you know, the 10-run rule is in effect today, and so 9 runs right now, 10 or 11 puts you in a position where you can wrap up a championship without giving Spring Hill all their at-bats.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not about running with a big lead today is bad sportsmanship.
Boy, nice backhanded reception of the pitch by Ellis.
Tell you, when you're a catcher in a game like this, it's miserable. And to see him just hanging in there, Ellis is doing a nice job behind the plate hanging in.
3-1. Ball 4 loads the bases. So that is the first walk given up by Strickland. And time is called.
And they've batted around again here in the second. 10 men went to the plate in the first. Wiseman will be the 9th man to bat in this inning. And Spring Hill going to have to talk about this situation and try to figure out what to do. Can Stewart hang in there? He has given up 4 hits. We saw Darian Pruitt start, win an inning, 6 hits, or make that 4 hits, 6 runs, all earned, 2 walks, and a strikeout. Stewart has come on, and he's thrown 2/3 of an inning. He's given up 4 hits to this point, 3 runs, and they're going to have to stay with him. Can't make a move yet.
You certainly want to get, and I was about to say earlier that Paul Lamb's strategy today may be 7 pitchers over 7 innings.
Nothing wrong with that.
Top of the order, Carter Wiseman. His 3rd time to bat in this game, and we're only in the 2nd inning. He takes a ball.
And if you're Wiseman right here, you're thinking, I want to hit it in a gap, because that'll clear him.
Wiseman takes a pitch low, and it's 2-0.
He's probably also thinking a walk isn't the worst thing in the world.
2-0 pitch, and here's Dylan Stewart. Strike called, and it's 2-1.
And you think about how many pitches Pruitt and Stewart have had to throw. They've worked them.
A ton. 2-1 delivery, fouled away, and Spring Hill trying to just get out of the inning again and take a breath. I mean, the thick air that's humid and hot today, a little thicker than normal right now. So deuces are wild, 2-2 with 2 outs. Wiseman at the plate. Bases are loaded, full of Cougars. 2-2 pitch fouled away.
It's a good curveball. Wiseman stayed on it pretty well.
Davis, the runner, at 3rd. Junior at 2nd, and Wilson at 1st. Another 2-2 pitch from Stewart. Upstairs, nearly hit him. And the count goes full, and you'll see the carousel start up right here.
The old merry-go-round pitch. That might have been the merry-go-round pitch. Spun him around.
And Wiseman said, hey, how about the noggin here? 3-2 delivery, the runners go, and strike 3 called. And Wiseman goes down, and Spring Hill out of the inning, but more damage done in the 2nd. 3 runs on 5 hits. There was an error, and 3 men left on for the Goodpasture Cougars. 9-0 after 2 here in Murfreesboro. Everybody is looking for a little shade, including the crew from Southern Athletic Fields, who, you talk about a yeoman's job this week. 6 different high school fields, Reese Smith Field, plus McKnight Park with all the softball fields. Bill Marbett and his crew just make life easy for these teams when they come to the state tournament. Underway in the 3rd, bouncing ball, long throw. Spring Hill gets the leadoff man on as the throw to first, not in time, and Darian Pruitt, who started this game as the pitcher for Spring Hill, now the center fielder, leads off, and for the 2nd time today, they get the leadoff man on.
Going to rule that a base hit.
After what he went through, he deserves the hit.
Yeah, I think so.
Top of the order now, Luke Bigler. Takes it low for a ball. Pitch goes upstairs, and it's 2 balls and no strikes on Bigler. Bouncing ball, tough play right here. No man's land. The flip to first is not in time. Great play and a great move. It just did not work out for him. Bigler beats it out at first, so Spring Hill has runners at first and second. That'll go as an infield hit, but a heck of an effort by Kemp.
It really was. And you see the hustle all the way around here. This ball is off the end of the bat, and the pitcher just doesn't have a good angle to it. And so Newman lets it go. And a super effort by Kemp. But good hustle by Pruitt to get down the line.
Line drive. Oh, caught by Kemp. They double up the runner at second.
Nearly a triple play as well. Kemp with an incredible catch and flip. And they nearly had Pruitt too far away from first base. But a 4-6 double play. And on a hard hit ball that I thought was a base hit initially that was going to put Spring Hill on the board. That is selling out.
If the shortstop had looked at first, he might have had a chance at a triple play. But he was cheering on his teammates' great play right there, and they may have had a triple.
Can't blame him.
Cole Barksdale, right fielder, takes a strike, and it's 0-1. 2 out. Top of the third inning.
Newman just taking that baseball right back. He is ready to go to work right now.
Ball bounces up there, but not far enough away. I think, I really think there is something to that in how your defense plays behind you. I mean, when you have pitchers, and we've seen it in this game, Spring Hill has had 2 pitchers who have labored and struggled, and
absolutely,
they've shaken off pitches trying to get, and they've had 2 errors behind them.
Absolutely. And Willie Donick and I were talking about it in the first game with Riverside in front. Ryan Fisher was taking the ball and doing exactly what Newman is, taking it and throwing it.
Swing and a miss there, and it's strike 2, and the count goes to 2-2.
Just grab it. Here we go. Let's do it. And I think it helps your defense. It keeps you're ahead. You're ahead 9-0. Why fiddle around?
Hunter Newman, the starter for Goodpasture, now into his 3rd inning of work. Ball hit high in the air. Should be an easy play for Wiseman as he comes in. Makes the catch for out number 3. Wiseman the catch there, but boy, an inning for Ryan Kemp that he will not forget in a while. He had one great play for a double play, nearly made an unbelievable play at first, but just a great defensive inning for Ryan Kemp.
And they nearly tackle him coming off the field. He's like, hey, wait a minute, I got a hit here. But isn't it always like that? The guy who makes the great defensive play is going to get a chance to lead off the bottom of the 3rd. But, those are the type of efforts. Making those sorts of plays in this situation can often spell the difference. We saw in the game that you and I worked yesterday a double play ball that should have been made. Instead, it turns into an error. So instead of 2 outs and the inning over, there were no outs. The inning was extended, and it allowed USJ to score some runs and take the lead. The difference in making those plays and not making those plays oftentimes ends up being the difference in a ball game.
Don't forget, you can watch all the action from the TSSAA Spring Fling live and on demand at TSSAAnetwork.com. It used to be just from Mountain City to Memphis, but now online it is worldwide and 10 feet tall. TSSAAnetwork.com.
It's good stuff.
Absolutely. We go to the bottom of inning number 3, and it will be the aforementioned Ryan Kemp to lead things off. Kemp, Newman, and Roten, the scheduled hitters for Goodpasture. Dylan Stewart still on the mound. And this is also a time when you don't have much pitching left. You've got to find somebody who can eat some innings.
You do. And you're hoping at the very least that Goodpasture just starts hitting the baseball at Raider players. You've got to say, listen, throw it in there. Don't walk them. let's not get into this. Let's throw it in there, let them hit it, and hope it goes right at somebody.
Brian Kemp, swing and a ball right down the line and just foul at third. That Cougar paw on the back of their jersey.
It's a good-looking uniform. They have that on their hats, too. They've always had good gear in football and in basketball. I always thought they had great uniforms. It's David Martin, the longtime football coach there.
One strike delivery, fouled away, and it's 0-2. They had a very good basketball team for a few years. Didn't win a state title with that team, but one of the most memorable high school basketball teams in the state of Tennessee.
Ron Mercer
and Drew Maddox. That was a very good basketball team. Two-strike pitch here, upstairs for a ball. It's 1-0, and Drew, by the way, won a state title this year as head coach at CPA.
It's a good coach.
One-two delivery. Reached for it, swung on and missed for strike three.
And you can see the look on his face. What am I doing? Would have needed a telephone pole to get this one. It's a good pitch. He's thinking, that's not what I do. Come on, Ryan. But I think it'll be okay. Keep playing defense like that.
Hey, you don't get put out of the lineup when you've got some leather like he does.
Well, and he's been on base twice and scored runs twice. So not everybody bats 1,000. Not anybody bats 1,000.
Hunter Newman.
He's batting 1,000 today.
Yes, he is. One ball and no strikes. Here's the 1-0 pitch, lined into left. That's going to get down for a base hit. Rounding first is Newman. And a one-out hit. Spring Hill has had, they got the leadoff man on twice. It has been Goodpasture, though, who has really just continued to just hammer it. This is the first inning they have not had the leadoff man on.
They've just kept the pressure on from the start. I mean, they got Kemp, and that was great because Kemp has been a pain to them at the plate, but then they're just not able to get Newman there, and he's 3 for 3 and takes a seat so Ellis can run for it.
And Jay Roten is the batter. Runner starts and stops. Ground ball to the left side, backhanded by Pruitt. Long throw will not be in time, gets away. The runner will move up to third, and Dathan Pruitt, that'll have to be an infield hit, I would think. No, they're going to give him an error on that.
Could be a hit and an error.
That could be it, too.
Because they would have to give an error allowing the runner to go to third. I think it's probably a base hit.
They did give the 10th hit and then the 4th error of the game. Well, that wouldn't be right. That's only the 3rd error of the game. But the error allows Newman to go to third, and it will be an infield hit for Jay Roten. First and third, one out, and Brandon Ashworth to the plate for Goodpasture. Straight away, center field, going back is Pruitt, makes a catch, the runner tags, sacrifice fly to make it 10-0 Goodpasture. And how about the jump catch by Pruitt in center field?
Yeah, I thought he misjudged it for just a moment. Of course, he was the starting pitcher, moved to the outfield in inning number 2. And if that one gets over his head, that might have been an inside the park home run. But he makes a good athletic play, gets the ball back in, and Ellis scores his 3rd run. So if you're young Mr. Ellis, a sophomore outfielder, you have tallied in the book 3 times.
You're saying this courtesy runner job is sweet.
It is a good thing.
Kyle Strickland, the catcher, takes a strike, and it's 0-1. The run scored by Newman is unearned and will remain so. One strike pitch is low for ball one in the AAA game coming up at 5 o'clock Central Time, as it will be Arlington, the Arlington Tigers taking on Bearden out of Knoxville.
The Bulldogs.
Ground ball to third. Helgren, short way to second. And that's all they needed.
Yeah, they didn't need the second one.
So
it's good practice, though.
Yeah, fielder's choice. 5-4 for the third out of the inning. And it will be, in the inning, a run on 2 hits, 1 error, and 1 man left on base. We played 3 here in Murfreesboro. It has been all Goodpasture. 10-0 Cougs over Spring Hill in the AA title game. Back with more in a minute. (10-0) Goodpasture with the lead on this sunny and hot Friday afternoon of Memorial Day weekend. Goodpasture making a bid to win a AA title. And take you through the middle of this game, here's Mike Keith.
Thanks very much, Chip Walters. 10-0 our score. Newman facing Usher. High fastball, swing and a miss. Jake, the second baseman, walked his first time, but was left stranded in an inning where Spring Hill had a chance. Loaded the bases, but they were unable to push anything across against Newman. He's had some long waits, Hunter Newman has, and at times has come back out and they've gotten him for a second, and then it seems when he gets his rhythm back, he starts to mow them down again. 12-0 on the season. Their ace, and this is what you like, throwing your ace in a big situation. A couple of balls and a couple of strikes right now to Usher, who will be followed by the left fielder Heath Petty, and then the third baseman Ryan Helgren. Fouled out of play. 10 runs, 10 hits, no errors for Goodpasture. Spring Hill, no runs, 4 hits, 4 errors. And the errors have been costly. Off speed stays high, 3-2 the count.
You know, you have to credit Coach Richie Estep. A lot of times you go into a state tournament and you...
Usher hits that one into left center, and that's going to be extra bases. Up against the wall, it gets away from Wiseman. 2 bags, and they will hold him there. Probably could have gotten 3, but you don't want to make the first out of the inning at third, especially down 10-0. Easily the best lick of the day they've gotten off Newman.
No question about it. Solid contact by Jake Usher, and we'll see it here as he's able to extend his arms and make a good swing. The ball gets over the head of the center fielder and all the way up against the wall. Just a big-time extra base hit to get Spring Hill off on a good foot here in the top of inning number 4. But what I was about to say for Coach Estep, you always have a plan of how you hope your pitching is going to work out to where you try to get Newman in a championship game. It hardly ever works out that way, but for Estep today it did.
Well, and you see different tournament situations where coaches will say, I'm not going to throw my ace in the first game. Fouled off. Obviously did so they could be able to bring him back and have this opportunity, and as you mentioned, it's all worked out perfectly.
And there's some philosophy there. You know, the difference in playing a double elimination tournament as opposed to a tournament that has pool play involved. In a pool play tournament, you can kind of work your matchups because you know you're going to play 3 games or whatever it might be, and a good piece of catching here by Strickland. But in a double elimination tournament, or single for that matter, you've got to put your guy out there and get a win.
The 2-1 high. Hunter Newman high in this inning with several pitches, and he is not happy with himself. Had the leadoff man Usher 0-2. It saw him fight back to hit a 3-2 pitch into left center, and now he's walked Petty.
It's his second walk today, for Newman that is. Walked Usher back in the second inning. Now his catcher Strickland's going to go out and have just a couple of words with him, but Spring Hill mounting a bit of a challenge here. They had first and second earlier. That was in the second inning, or in the third inning as well. So they have mounted challenges but have not been able to plate anything.
Helgren is the hitter. Off speed, outside, 1-0. Helgren, flied out to right his first time. Nobody out in the inning. Line to second, throw back to second. That's a double play.
It's deja vu all over again.
Kemp to Ashworth, another 4-6 double play. As to the runner at second base, Usher, that ball looks like it's harder hit than what it is. It is a line drive, but it's a softly hit line drive. You see Kemp come up with it, and by the time Usher has reached the conclusion that that's been caught, he can't get back ahead of Ashworth stepping on the back. So it brings up the designated hitter, Farmer. Now with 2 out and just a runner on first, and so the thought of the big inning kind of goes out the window.
Kemp was just happy on that play that he was able to keep himself in an upright position and make the play.
He has a dirty uniform.
Well, he's earned his today.
He sure has. I don't know who does his laundry, but they'll be happy to do it with the way he's played. Pitch is high.
Might be a sponsorship opportunity for
Might be.
Goodpasture.
I'll tell you, the
athletic department.
The opportunity he's going to get, or should, Newman ought to buy him dinner. Pitch hits him. So taking first base there is Farmer. Not sure where it hit him.
It may have got him right on the forearm.
Right, must have. Estep going to go out and have a few words with Newman, who has not had his best stuff today. He's given up 5 hits and a couple of walks and a hit batsman. It has not been a flawless performance, but his defense has come through for him, and he's made important pitches at the right times. The conversation right now, a lot of times, is stop fooling around.
It gets pretty simple.
It really does. I mean, that's the message in these sorts of situations oftentimes is don't think, just throw. And the catcher.
And Newman just had that look on his face when Richie Estep turned to go back to the dugout. He's like, doesn't he realize I've got a 10-0 lead here?
And the answer is he does.
Yeah.
But it's probably what Strickland told him when he went out there earlier. It means more coming from the coach.
And to classify that as a conversation would be an overstatement.
That would be a directive. Pruitt fouls it off down the left field line. Started the game as the pitcher, now the center fielder. He's got 2 runners on here, 2 down, trailing 10-0. Yeah, those conversations are not conversations. A monologue. The pitch. Tries to bunt his way aboard, bunts it foul. Quickly in the hole, 0-2. He has helped Newman out right here. Newman wants that baseball back.
And thrown out of the game.
And thrown out of the game. Get rid of that. I don't ever want to see that again. Don't have as many choices in high school baseball. It's not college or professional. They ask the crowd here to return the foul balls.
They'll rub that one up and it'll get back in there.
It'll be back in. Oh, 2. A little bit of confusion here, so they're going to have a discussion.
One of the reasons Richie Estep came out to talk is he understands the importance of that 10-0 lead. Should they be able to keep that, Spring Hill is down to their final 4 outs if they can hold that 10-0 lead.
That's exactly right. And then you don't have to think about using another pitcher. Ooh, look close on the corner. Just missed. Yeah, there's a lot that goes with it. Let's see, how close? Ooh, very close. Very close. 1-2. Newman in the dirt there. That was not close. 2-2 the count. And part of it that's been tough for Newman in this ballgame, the long waits. We've played almost an hour and 15 minutes, but his team's been on offense so much, hard to get a rhythm. Strikes him out with a high fastball, and he will come to the dugout and say, I had it all the way. After 4, it remains Goodpasture 10, Spring Hill nothing, and we go to the all-important 5th inning, understanding that if Goodpasture can maintain a 10-run advantage after the 5th, we're done, and Goodpasture has an 8th state title.
So you're going to see Estep might try to take a chance here if he gets a man on to try to get that insurance run if he can. But also, let's take a look at some heat right there from Newman. And that's the high heater. And Newman says, let's take it to the dugout for one more inning. And look at there, there's some hardy souls here at Reese Smith Field enjoying a state championship game in Class AA. And with that, a reminder to everybody this weekend, it's going to be extremely hot, whether you're in East Tennessee all the way to the Bluff City of Memphis. So be extremely careful, but enjoy all that the state of Tennessee has to give you on this Memorial Day weekend.
Good advice there. Public service.
I'm here for the people.
You are here. You're a man of the people. And another man of the people is Luke Bigler, who has taken over on the mound. Stewart moves to first. So Stewart goes 3 innings. And he swaps over to first base. Bigler will come in to pitch. Demersion, Jr. and Wilson set to hit against Bigler. Bigler has not pitched in the state tournament. Little fister to short. Pruitt's got it on one hop, throws. Got it. You like the 1 pitch, 1 out.
Only the second time today that Spring Hill has been able to retire the leadoff man. And Dathan Pruitt made a nice play there. He's had some tough chances out there. A very celebrated shortstop, but he's been put under the gun by the Cougars today.
He sure has.
We were reminded by soon-to-be Tennessee sports writer Hall of Famer Marion Wilhoit that Pruitt will become the second shortstop from the county of Murray to be a shortstop at Middle Tennessee, and the third from that general area. Andy Pye, who played at Columbia Central, and Jason Maxwell from Lewisburg also played shortstop here at Middle Tennessee. Both of those guys went on to play in the big leagues.
Colton Sweet is the pinch hitter. Off the end of the bat, Sweet going to be tagged out by Bigler. So his appearance is short, 1 unassisted for the second out in the bottom of the 4th inning. I think I got ahead of myself saying we were into the 5th, but the 5th at bat for Spring Hill is what we will be seeing next.
So it is very possible we could have a 4.5 inning championship game.
Yep. You knew what I meant. Here's Caleb Wilson on base twice. Single and a walk. Bigler off to a nice start. Got a couple of ground outs, Demersion and Sweet. Neither ball very sharply struck. The pitch. High strike, count even at 1. I don't think there's a sign of rain for like a week, is there? Fouled out of play, 1 and 2.
I think you're right. And, you know, we had such a mild winter.
Did we have winter?
Yeah. I can't remember a winter like we had, but what it has done, it's, you know, if you're a baseball fan, those fields became greener faster and thicker and lusher, and old Mike had to start mowing his lawn a little bit earlier this year.
February. On the ground to short. Pruitt falls down and has it go underneath him into left field. I'm guessing base hit is what they're probably going to say. 4 errors on the day on Spring Hill, and boy, they'll credit him with an error there. Sort of hoping on his behalf they would not. Wiseman coming up again.
Another look at it. He went back on the edge of the grass, and it might have caught the lip of the grass there, Mike, and took a tough hop on him. I believe if he had been able to play that on the dirt, he would have been fine.
Number off the fist. Pruitt tries to get it out of his glove, not nearly in time. That is a hit. So Wiseman is aboard, and the Cougars looking to expand their advantage as they're going to send up one of the heroes of the day, Ryan Kemp, 1 of 2, 2 runs, a walk, a single, and a strikeout, and he has started 2 double plays.
What was that I was saying about Dathan Pruitt getting some tough chances at short?
That's pretty tough. Bigler kicks and fires a breaking ball. Kemp nearly screwed himself into the ground. He went after it so hard. Foul ball, it's 0-1. First and second, 2 down, bottom of the 4th, 10-0 game. The pitch. Little out. 1-1. Kemp would like to add some icing on the cake right here. Drive in that 11th, maybe even that 12th or 13th run. They set up inside. Bigler goes that way, ball chopped to short. Pruitt going to be able to throw to second, and Usher's there for the easier.
Finally, an easy bounce for him.
Yeah, it's good for him. He's had a tough time, but you said it exactly right. He has had some brutally tough chances in this game. 10-0 the score as we go to the top of the 5th inning. And on his way back out, Hunter Newman trying to get it done for the Goodpasture Cougars. Ashworth makes the play, throwing out Bigler. And so here's Dathan Pruitt. Pruitt 1 out of 2. Popped to second and single. Goodpasture looking to close it out. Cole Barksdale waits to hit next. If anyone reaches, Taylor Ellis will get a chance. Newman looks like he has a mission right now.
Yes, he does.
High gets away from the catcher Strickland.
You know, we talked in the open about keys to the game, and Paul Lamb talked about getting off to a good early start.
Straight change, strike 3.
And it didn't happen to his team, but it did happen to Goodpasture, and they are 1 out away from claiming a state title.
Barksdale has lined into a 4-6 double play and struck out. Barksdale, an incredible tournament though, 7 of 14. Home run, 5 runs batted in, 10 total bases. He's on the ground to second. Kemp up with it, throws to first, that's it. And just like that, the state champion is crowned in Class AA, and that state champion, Goodpasture Christian. 10-0, the final score. Goodpasture finishes an incredible season with their 8th state championship at 38-3-1, Chip.
I'll tell you, 38 wins in any kind of season, high school or college, that is something to be very, very proud of. And for Goodpasture to pick up, you know, their 8th state title and win it here in Murfreesboro, just an absolute joyful day for them. And for Spring Hill, what a show of guts they had in this state tournament, having to play 6 games in 4 days. You know, they put themselves in a hole by losing their first round game, but they came marching back through the losers bracket, and here they are, and they'll take home the silver trophy.
Well, Spring Hill took another step. And you get the idea that that door is going to get kicked in at some point for them, but just too much of an uphill because of two things: losing that first game, having to win 4 to get here, and you could tell they were down some in their pitching, but also the start.
What a great tradition we're watching on the screen right now as the post-tournament handshake, or in the 2012 version, the fist bump, as these two teams battled it tooth and nail throughout this championship game. But when it comes all said and done, they're all competitors and respect each other for it.
Goodpasture wins 10-0 over Spring Hill. The trophy presentation upcoming from Reese Smith Jr. Field at MTSU.
Welcome back to Murfreesboro, and the state championship taken by Goodpasture 10-0 over the Spring Hill Raiders. Now for our trophy presentations, let's check in with PA announcer Jeff Shipley.
The Raiders, coach of the Raiders of Spring Hill High School. And congratulations to the runner-up Raiders of Spring Hill High School, Division I, Class AA. The Raiders finished with a record of 35-9. And now, the presentation of the champion coach's plaque to Richie Eastep of Goodpasture Christian School. And introducing the champions of Division I Class AA, the Cougars of Goodpasture Christian School. The Cougars finished with a record of 38-3-1.
Goodpasture wins today by a 10-0 score and captures the Class AA title in Class AA Division I.
A school with incredible athletic tradition on the boys' side, on the girls' side. Wherever you look, Goodpasture has had success, and baseball doesn't take a backseat to any sport. 8 state championships since 1988.
So the state championship trophy goes back to Madison, Tennessee, to Goodpasture Christian School. There you see a happy group of Cougars here from Reese Smith Field. For Mike Keith, this is Chip Walters saying thanks for being with us wherever you're watching statewide or around the world on the TSSAA network. Stay tuned, 5 p.m. Central Time, the AAA title game coming up here on the TSSAA network. Have a great Memorial Day weekend.